Hey guys, it's CaitOfAllTraits, and these are 20 things that you may not know about me. Number 1, I could not burp until I was 32. Previously, I just felt like vomiting. I'll go to the toilet and I'll just bend over the toilet and like saliva will come out my mouth. I'm really sorry, but wow, that was the first fact and already it's so disgusting. Next! Number 2, I studied musical theatre as a degree. So that was what I did when I was like 19 or something like that. It's the reason why I can sing and dance and act. I hope I can act. You know, sometimes you have self-doubt. Next! Number 3. I grew up playing the piano. I feel like that's really helped me in musical theatre because I had a really good relative or perfect pitch. I just can hear music and know which note it is. Ha ha! Number 4. I used to study fashion before I studied performing. That's why I like to make my own clothes and upcycle old things. That's also why I love swapping. It's also better for the environment. Please swap. Number 5, I used to be a Disney princess. That was my first job and also the only job that I worked at full-time. I played a character called Bebe or Bibi in Hong Kong Disneyland. Number 6, I can actually speak sign language. When I was 16, I had some classmates who were hearing impaired and so they taught me to speak sign language so I can communicate with them. Hi, I can talk in sign language. Hee hee. Number 7, I used to be a talent manager to a French performer and we used to like go around the world and perform and I manage him lah. So basically I negotiate and then he performs. I also at this point lived in France so that I can recruit some of his friends because there are some really talented people that cannot manage themselves, so I was that for them. Number 8, I have a party trick and it is that when I speak or sing in French, a lot of French people tell me that I don't have an accent, like a foreign accent. Number 9, my first hosting gig ever was for the French Chamber of Commerce. I was providing entertainment for them and then they were like, would you like to host for us? And I was like, yes, of course! And the rest is history. Number 10, my dream has always been and still is to start my own French band with my own guitarist, a double bassist, my brother who's a percussionist, Govin, shout out. And an accordionist. Number 11, I also want to start like a French style cabaret. I have accumulated some really bad, dumb jokes and experiences. One time, a very important French person came on stage and I was like, I learned this French phrase for when you take photos and translated in English, it's the little bird is out, and so for kids they're like, oh, you know, they get smiley and all. So then, when these French people got on stage, these very important French people, mind you, and I thought it would be a great idea to try my new French phrase, and so I said, le petit oiseau va sortir! And the very important person was surprised, and then he looked down. I had no idea why he looked down. And then the event was over and someone told me that le petit oiseau va sortir also means that your fly is down. Number 12. I used to teach singing and drama before I became a performer. When I came back from LA, I just thought like, okay, oh my god, what am I gonna do for money? You know, it's Singapore, and so I asked around. Everyone was just saying, it's saturated, Cait, like you won't get work, so I'm gonna have to get by, you know? And so I taught singing and drama and I really enjoyed it. But the moment I started auditioning for things, I realized I booked the first 4 things I auditioned for and it was all commercial too. Number 13, I studied acting in LA when I was 28 and because I was Asian, I think everybody just thought I was 18 because, you know, Asian don't raise in. Number 14, when I came back from studying in LA, I was very lucky to book like Channel 5 things like Tanglin, Point of Entry. Transitioning from musical theatre to acting for camera, it really helped me with my career. And there's another one that I just filmed with Alaric Tay and it's coming out soon. I will let you know. Number 15, I loved acting because of the craft. I love getting into the character. A lot of people are like, oh, is it because you want to be famous? And honestly, fame only helps if you keep getting the good roles and if people look for you because they know you exist. Number 16, this is really interesting because up to a few weeks ago, there are still a lot of people that I've worked with or who meet me on the streets who still don't know that I played Cait in Click Network's girl band called Girl Band. Say hi! Don't post that.
Too late, it's on live. There are 500 people watching already.
People will slide into my DMs on Instagram and say something like, "You are actually bubbly." Do you think I'm like this in real life? It's quite scary. Number 17. I taste trained myself so I can taste the original flavor of vegetables. This is really weird what I'm about to share with you. At one point for a month, I would boil carrots in water and just add a sprinkle of salt to bring out the flavor. And then I do that with
tomatoes, with potatoes, with onions, with broccoli.
Just so I know what each vegetable tastes like. That is how much I love food. Number 18, I love cooking for people. I love feeding people. It's my language of love. I'm very happy to say that nobody has laosied or died from eating my food. So I will continue inviting my friends, obviously. Number 19, I do not like the taste of alcohol. It's not a religious thing, it's not a belief system thing, but I just really don't like the taste of alcohol. The only time that I drink is when I'm clubbing. I drink 4 shots of tequila because it's just so irritating to go back to the bar and there's so many people in front of you and the bartender has no time for you. So I'm just like, you know what, give me 4 shots of tequila, just let me get into the music and party the night away. But I like cooking with alcohol, like Guinness, you make really nice meat pies, beer battered fish, you can use red wine to make stew. I make myself hungry. Oh my god. I'm hungry for my own food. Oh my god. Buay hiao bai, super BHB, you know. Number 20. I have actually lived away from my parents for like more than 10 years. I left Singapore when I had to work in Disney. I just got so used to being very independent that when I came back to Singapore, it was very hard for me to live with my parents. And I realized that my living style is very different from, let's say, my mom's. You know, I don't want to like have to tell her when I'm leaving and coming back as well, but I also don't want to treat her house like a hotel. And so I told her that I had to live on my own because I only want her to see the best of me. She doesn't get to see like me when I'm grumpy or when I'm mad at myself or when I don't hit my targets and like get pissed off. It's not very common in Singapore for Singaporeans to move out on their own or live on their own, right? So let me know in the comment section if like there are some things you want to see in terms of my day-to-day life, living on my own, like the struggles or like the fun parts. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that clarifies a few things about me and you've learned a little bit more about who Cait is. Please feel free to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram for more up-to-date updates. I'll see you next time! But, it's the house ghost, Charlie. He always does this kind of thing for attention. I don't know why he's so attention. Charlie, can you stop flipping things? Usually he just slams doors downstairs when we're downstairs, but now we're in the lounge.